What's up guys, NintendoKid here. And for those of you with sensitive hearing, yes, I'm running a bit of a cold. But games gotta be played and products gotta be reviewed. So today I will take you into the wondrous world of taiko drumming for your Nintendo Switch.
Taiko no Tatsujin! Nintendo Switch version!
With Bandai Namco finally releasing their first ever Western version of the Taiko Drum Master on the Nintendo Switch, it's time to get your rhythm on and get those muscles working. Don't own a copy of the game yet? No sweat, I don't either. Just grab yourself the demo from either the European or the Japanese eShops, each containing the same songs. A big shout out to DOBE, who sent me the Taiko Drum for the Nintendo Switch, as well as the Taiko Drum for the Nintendo Wii. I'll be featuring this in a different Let's Play video somewhere down the line. Let's see, and well, first things first, I do prefer the box art of the Wii version though, and I've looked inside already, and the drumsticks actually look slightly better. The color looks just a little better, but enough jabbering, let's get drumming.
Taiko drumming is rooted deeply in Japanese culture, and it was only a matter of time before someone stepped up and made a video game out of it. Bandai Namco's Taiko Drum series, now a staple in rhythm-based gaming, dates back from 2001 and has been released on more consoles than I dare count, including a whole line of dedicated arcade consoles I am longing to try out for myself someday. The main concept of the game is fairly simple. You choose a song, typically a classical masterpiece, game tune or some other hit song, set your difficulty level, and once the music starts, these little notes or onpu come flying by. Your job? Hit the drum at its correct point in tune with the music. The red onpu, called don, signals a hit on the face of the drum, while a blue onpu, the ka, requires you to hit the rim. Hit the drum the moment an onpu lines up with the empty spot at the start of your bar. See a yellow trail? Drum as fast as you can and be sure to use both bachi when you see a bigger don or ka than usual for some additional points. That's basically all there is to it, and it reflects real-life taiko drumming as close as it possibly can. But as simple as it sounds, it can get pretty hectic out there, depending on the difficulty setting and your experience with the drum and songs, as a musical ear is a big up here. When you open up the box, we can see the two drumsticks or bachi popping out on the sides. These are extremely lightweight, but of a firm plastic with nicely rounded ends. Underneath the flap, we find a drum with hardwired controller. The drum itself features multiple pressure points along the face and the rim of the drum, ensuring your hits are registered correctly, all covered by a firm, rubbery membrane. Hardwired to the drum is this 3-meter long USB cable with USB 2 port and a USB 2 to USB Type-C connector, which is great to see it being included, making it possible for you to play in tabletop mode out of the gate. And lastly, there are these 3 parts which make up the stand, each packed separately, providing a solid support with 4 rubberized feet. And after a quick assembly, our taiko drum is ready to go. And thanks to some clever engineering, the drumsticks or bachi can be nicely stored underneath the drum, just like so. For those of you who are interested in buying a taiko drum for yourself, I have put some links in the description down below. At this point, I would like to mention that there is another taiko drum out there by Hori, which I haven't tested myself yet, but the main difference being the integration of the mini controller. Although the integration is aesthetically pleasing for sure, personally I do prefer this layout of the controller being separated from the drum's face, as it removes the possibility of accidentally hitting any of the buttons while in the heat of your drumming session. And for that matter, you hardly need the controller anyways, as you can navigate the menus and go back and forth with the drum itself. This mini controller is possibly the smallest I have ever used, but for what it offers, it is actually not bad at all. It is a full-fledged controller, save for the ZL&R buttons, and of course there is no motion or gyro sensor, no rumble feature and no NFC reader. But apart from that, you can pretty much play anything with it, as it is recognized as a pro controller. Now for a fair review of the drum, I've mixed it up a little using button inputs to the JoyCons, JoyCons as motion controls and our coveted taiko drum. During the recording of this review, I did run into some issue with the synchronization of both the Taiko Drum and the Joy-Cons' motion controls whilst being connected to the laptop for screen recording. Even though there is an option to adjust the response time of the drum, I was unable to resolve the issue and additionally recorded a tabletop version. Can you spot the difference?
3、2、1
All in all, using this Taiko Drum is absolutely great. The sound the drum produces when you hit the surface of the drum is quite satisfying, and drumming away while those Anpu come rushing by is quite immersive and something you should definitely try out for yourself. And the thing is, this drum can take quite a beating too. I mean, I've been in some pretty intensive drumming sessions and the drum still looks as good as new. Only downside is that while drumming in the heat of things, the drum tends to move away a fair bit, as can be seen in the tabletop recording. I think this is a problem with the rubberized feet, as they don't produce enough friction there, so either use an anti-skid surface or DOBE perhaps redesign those little feet. Playing in tabletop mode or on the big screen, I haven't found any issue regarding response time. The only downside of using a drum is that you don't experience the HD rumble, or any rumble for that matter. Of course, when you're using button input and a controller that supports a rumble function or the motion control of the Joy-Cons itself, you have that HD rumble, which is a nice feature, but it doesn't beat the actual feeling, the haptic feedback of hitting that surface of the drum. Now, speaking on different inputs, I do think that the button input though is the most accurate, which shouldn't come as a surprise, as for the longest time I've been using buttons instead of drums, playing video games in all sorts of shapes. But for a game like this, you really have to use a drum in order to get the full experience out of it. While playing this game alone is quite fun, playing it together with a friend or family member is absolutely the bomb. I have played a long list of multiplayer games with friends like Mario Kart and Mario Party, Super Smash Bros, Donkey Konga, but this one is just as good, if not better. I mean, choose any of the Taiko Drum games and you will get your share of fun. And with that, guys, this review has come to an end. If you like this deep dive, be sure to hit that like button, as it definitely helps out in the search results, and drop a comment in the section down below if you've ever played Donkey Konga back in the Nintendo GameCube days, and did you enjoy that? If so, I'm quite sure that you'll enjoy this game too, and let me know if you're planning on grabbing a copy of this Taiko Drum game yourself, and maybe even this Taiko Drum. and have your own taiko drumming session. Be sure to share this video with a friend, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.